My name is Sarah Quitone. I supervise workers who certify foster and adoptive families. During the initial contact when a family wants to be a foster or adoptive family, they will talk to our resource family coordinator. They help them with the application process to get that started in our database. So once a family is certified and they're online to accept placement, we have a placement coordinator, and they also have a certification worker assigned to them that gives them that support, because a lot of times the waiting is the hardest part. And our placement coordinator works to match children with the best family that would meet their needs, and they can help them understand where they're at in the placement process and what children that we do need homes for, which are normally teenagers, a large sibling group of 3 or more. They can help them alter their preferences a bit so that maybe they can be open up to more placements. There's so many the forms and paperwork, the background checks that we go through, the training just ensures that we're certifying safe and appropriate homes for children because they need that. Many of the children that come through our agency have not experienced a safe and stable home. And a lot of times, in order for us to do that, we need to go out there and ensure that we are certifying the appropriate families to provide that love and care that children need. Cherokee children are also throughout the United States that may need foster or adoptive home, and so we're able to certify homes that are located outside of our 14-county jurisdiction as well in the other states. And we do have workers assigned to those children there, and we can help facilitate placement in those homes as well. A lot of our families come through and they want a newborn baby that doesn't have any special needs, and it's sad to say, but the majority of our children have experienced hardship, not at their own fault, but their parents aren't able to meet their needs, basic needs of housing and shelter and food and to keep them safe. And a lot of times it's not just newborns that we are working with. It is older children, ages 10, 8, and those teens about 15, 14. I mean, they're all harder to place children. Families are made up of so many different ways. There could be stepchildren, there could be a foster child or an adoptive child in the home, but they're not all in just 0 to 3 years old with no needs. All our children are all different. Children haven't, a lot of times they see their friends at school and the special things they do with their families, and they may not be able to experience that if they're in a shelter or if they're not placed with their siblings. A sister and a brother may want to be able to open gifts together on Christmas morning. They may not be able to do that because we don't have homes that will take a sibling group of 2 or more. And so that places it impacts their life, because it's going to be a memory of when I was 8, I didn't get to have Christmas with my brother who was 3 or 4. That can lead a child to go a different way when they are able to share a special holiday together with a family environment, and they can create those lasting memories of this family opened their home to me at Christmas time and my 2 siblings so that I could share Christmas with my brother and sister. If you have thought about fostering, the time is now to help, because it's not. We have children that need foster homes. I mean, it's a daily crisis situation where children are sitting at the office waiting for a family to say, yes, bring them to my home. We need families in order to do that. Children don't need to be experiencing sitting at the office and waiting for a family to say, yes, bring them on.
I adopted as a single person. I came from a generation of foster parents. My grandmother was a foster parent, and my mother was a foster parent. And there were 2 children that were in my grandmother's home. She was in her 70s, so she was nearing the end of her career as a foster parent. And they did not have anybody that was able to take them. There was no placement available. Family was not, I don't want to say not willing, they just weren't able to. And so they were 9 and 12, and the likelihood of them being adopted was very slim. We knew that, and I had developed a close relationship with them, and my grandmother approached me and said, "You're really close to them. These children need a home. What do you think?" And I said, "I don't know. What do I do? How do I raise 2 children on my own?" And she reminded me of my upbringing and how I was brought up. I had a single parent, and her one phrase that made all the difference, and it was the turning point, was, "One mom is better than no mom." I remember the first Christmas with my kiddos, and one thing that was amazing to them was the fact that there was so much food. Whenever we talked about what are you grateful for this Christmas, my son said, I'm just grateful for all this food. Now, whenever I go out and talk to people as a recruiter, I really try to push foster care because our children, the main goal is for our children to be reunified with their families, whether it's their parents or whether it's with relatives. That's what's best for our children. So whenever I'm talking to people, I want to say to them that we need foster homes because we do want to see reunification happen. However, I don't want to leave the aspect of adoption out because we do need adoptive homes in case there is no one for these children. And it's important that those adoptive homes and those foster homes are homes of our Cherokee tribal people. By doing that, our children are able to maintain their connection to their tribe, their ways, their culture, even though as a prospective parent you may think, there's not anything that I do that's Cherokee, but once you go through the training and we start talking about things, you'll understand and realize, oh, that's something that I do all the time. That there's no intention behind it. We're Cherokee. That's what makes us unique. But I guarantee you, our children, they know. Yes. Whenever they're separated from their tribe, they know. They feel that loss. Adult adoptees will tell you, I was adopted by a non-native family, and although they were very loving, there was something missing in my life. Whenever I came back to my tribe, that void was filled. One of our cultural values is Dikada Jayli, and it means literally we belong to each other, and that's what we do. That's what we've always done. Our children know that. They know that this tribe belongs to them. They know that our culture and our values belong to them, and that taking care of each other is something that we've always done. There's no better time than the holidays to start thinking about this. The best gift that you could give a child that's in care, that has ended up in foster care for whatever reason, is a home.